Assalamu alaikum students, hope you are doing good. This is your lecture for physics grade 8. The unit we have already started, that is gravitation. The date is 16 December 2020 and the day is Wednesday. So the learning outcome for this lecture include student you will be able to explain the motion of artificial satellites, in which we will discuss about the orbital velocity and orbital radius and the relation of centripetal force, which is amplified in case of artificial satellite. Motion of artificial satellite. So class, we are going to start a topic, and that is the motion of artificial satellite. The word motion is written over here. It's mean that we are going to discuss and find out the velocity of the artificial satellite. All of you know that what are artificial satellites because we discussed in the previous lectures. A satellite requires centripetal force that keep it to move around the earth. So all of you know that satellites, they are moving around the earth and they are moving in a particular circular path. So what keeps the object in a circular path? Basically it is a centripetal force, and all of you know that centripetal force is a force that keeps a body moving in a circle. That's why these satellites, they are moving around the earth in a centripetal in a circular path, because they have the specific centripetal force that keep them to move in a specific orbit. The gravitational force of attraction between the satellite and the earth provides necessary centripetal force. So as we know that the satellites, they are moving around the earth and they have the specific centripetal force. That's why they are revolving around the earth. But what kind of force is over there? There is basically a gravitational force that is present between the satellite and the earth that keeps the object to move in a circular path. Consider a satellite of mass m revolving around the earth at an altitude h in an orbit of radius r naught with orbital velocity v naught. So we have a satellite which has the mass m, and it is moving around the earth, and it has the height, the distance from the earth of satellite is basically h, and the radius of the orbit is r naught. This small zero is basically known as naught. So the this is the radius of orbit, so we represent it with r naught. And the velocity is obviously orbital velocity, because the satellite, it's moving in its own orbit, so we consider velocity as v naught. The necessary centripetal force is required is given by the equation 3.26. So if you go in chapter 3, you know that this is the 3.26 equation. Fc is equals to mv naught square over r naught. We have learned this equation when we are discussing the topic centripetal force. So this force is provided by gravitational force of attraction between the earth and the satellite, and is equal to the weight of the satellite, w into mg. So this force is basically the centripetal force that is provided by the gravitational force of attraction between the earth and the satellite. And this force is equal to the weight of the satellite, because both are the forces. This one is the centripetal force, and it is equal to the weight of the satellite, and all of you know that w is always equals to mg. So we can say that centripetal force is equal to weight of the satellite, which is equal to the mgh, and gh is basically the gravity of the altitude, right? So if we compare the previous equation, which is fc is equals to, I can write over here, fc is equals to mv naught square over r. This is the equation for centripetal force, which we discussed in the previous slide. So if I compare this centripetal force equation, and the other equation is for weight, that is mgh. So I write over here the both equation. I just compare these equation, and what I get, m will be cancelled with this m, and we left with uh, gh is equals to v square, v naught square by r naught, right? If I just move this r naught on the other side, I will get the equation V naught square is equals to GH R naught. They just do the cross multiplication over here, right? So this V naught square is, how can we remove the square? By taking the square root on the both side. If I take square root on both side, what happened? It will, this square will cancel with this square root, and it will be V naught is equals to GH R naught under root. This is the equation 5.10. This is basically the orbital velocity of the satellite. And as we know that R naught is equals to R plus H, because when we are discussing the topic of altitude, we know that if this is the earth, it has a radius R, and obviously in some if this is the orbit and there is an artificial satellite, so it must be distance H. So we write here the total radius, the total distance, so that's why we just add R plus H, right? If you can see this. So if we just put this value of R naught in the equation 5.10, we just put the value in this equation, we get V naught is equals to under root GH into R plus H. This is the equation 5.11. Now this is the orbital velocity for the artificial satellite. So equation 5.8, 5.10 give the velocity which a satellite must possesses when launched in an orbit of radius r naught is equals to r plus h around the earth. So in the previous equation we derive the orbital velocity which is equal to v naught is equals to gh r naught under root, and if we and as we say that if there is a radius of the earth and also the height of the satellite, so it r naught will be r plus h, so it is the another orbital velocity of the satellite. But if we make approximation that satellite it is revolving close to the earth, means it's so close to the earth that the value of r is much greater than h. If the value of r is much greater than h, it's mean r plus h must be equal to r. If r plus h must be equal to r, then we know that we can write the equation like this: r plus h is equals to r, and gh will be become is equals to g, because it's the gravity of the earth obviously, right? So if we put these two values in the equation 5.11, we get v naught is equals to gr under root. This is basically the orbital velocity of the artificial satellite which is revolving very close to the earth, right? So the satellite that is very close to the earth has the speed velocity of 8 kilometer per second, or we can say that 29,000 kilometer per hour. There is also an information in your book. Do you know moon is nearly 380,000 kilometer away from the earth? It completes its one revolution around the earth in 27.3 days. So the one revolution of the moon is completed in 27.3 days, right? This is the information that is gathered by the scientists, right? So class, this is your homework. As you know that we have completed the unit 5, so you have to recap all the topics of the unit 5 for your practice, right? And you have to memorize all the formulas that are given in your unit 5. We have discussed the formula of law of gravitation, we have discussed the formula of mass of earth, then we have discussed the formula with or in a variation of g with altitude, and then we are discussing the formula of orbital velocity in artificial satellites. So you have to memorize all the formulas by your heart, because these formulas are very important, and if you know these formulas, then you will be able to solve the problems in your exercise. Then the third point that is very important, you have to memorize the value of constants. So there are I think three values of constants that are given in your book, so you have to memorize these value of constant. The first value is the universal constant g, which is equal to 6.673 into 10 raised to power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. You have to memorize this value of g. Then there is a mass of earth which is equal to 6 into 10 raised to power 24 kg. You also have to memorize this value. Then you also must be know that what is the radius of the earth, and the radius of the earth is 6 into 6.4 into 10 raised to power 6 meter, right? So there are three constants that are given in your book, so you have to memorize the value of constant, because these whenever you solve the problems and do the exercise questions, you must be know this value to solve the problems, right? So class, your unit 5 is completed. Thank you so much. Now if you have any problem in this lecture or in previous lecture, you can ask me in a comment box, or you can message me so I can give the answer of your question as well. And class, be try to practice that formulas, and all the constant values of constant, because in the next class we will start the exercise of this chapter. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.